is me pretending that I'm warm. Hi!
Hi!
Namaste. Hey, it's Amber and I'm back. And by back, I mean back from like the other side of the world. Can you believe it? This has been an amazing couple of weeks while I've been away from you. I don't mean it as in it's been amazing because I've been away from you. I just mean it's been amazing while I've been away. Yes. So, sorry, I don't say things right when I'm on screen. Okay, so I have come back with so much video footage to show you, but first, let's tackle the question, what was I doing? So I was in Nepal with an organization called Allow the Children. I'll link to their website. I have loud people next to me. Sorry about that. So, I will link to their website in the description box, or you can just listen to me explain what they do, or you could do both. They work in, hold on, I think it's 7 different countries. It might be 8 or 9. I've lost count because they've added a couple new extra ones. But they started in Nepal, so that's where their biggest area of ministry is. Allow the Children works with national pastors and national churches in these different countries to provide child sponsorships for children who are in need of help. We work with a lot of different kinds of children. Sometimes we work with orphans, or maybe half orphans where they're missing one parent, and so maybe they have just their mother who's a widow and cannot take care of them. Or sometimes we work with the children of pastors. In these countries where we're working, pastors do not make much money, if any money at all, and it's very difficult for them to provide for their families. So by coming in and helping take care of their children, we're relieving some of that burden off of them. We also work with the children of believers in these countries, believers in certain churches that are really struggling, and we want to help them and encourage them and take on the burden of helping provide some of the things that their children need. And so what the sponsorships provide are food, education, shelter, clothing, those sorts of basic necessities. And we work by matching a child in Nepal with a sponsor here in the States. And believe it or not, the sponsorships are $30 a month. That's like $1 a day, which most people spend on a cup of coffee, alright? And for that much money, people are impacting kids' lives in these places because it really does change their lives. I used to have this attitude of like, you know what? All the famous people in history started out really poor and they had to work really hard and they overcame a lot of obstacles, and that's kind of good for you. Like, this is what you need. I especially had that attitude when it came to education because I thought, you know what, if you work hard enough, you don't really have to be educated, you just have to have a good work ethic and be willing to learn and to grow. I mean, think of how many people are millionaires in the United States who didn't even finish high school, right? But when I went outside of the United States, I realized that education is really a make or break type of thing. In places where we don't have you don't have the freedom that we have here, if you don't have an education, you are so tied, so hampered. You can't get a job, you can't provide for your family. You don't have time to be active in a church. You're just focused on surviving. You don't have a platform to stand on. People don't pay attention to anything that you say because you're uneducated. What you say doesn't matter. So having believers who are educated and who are able to provide for their families is a big deal. It impacts the culture in a really amazing way. So by helping these kids get educated, we are not just impacting them, but we're impacting the church and the culture there. The second thing is, some of these kids are from believers' homes, but some of them are from families where they would never have heard who Jesus is and how he can change their lives. Maybe they're from a Hindu background or from a Muslim background, and when they come into our sponsorship program, they're exposed to the gospel and they hear it on a regular basis, and so they get to learn what is that all about, and they have an opportunity to learn and to grow, which is amazing. Everything that Allow the Children does is funded by volunteers and by ministry. Like, everybody who works there, they don't take a salary. All of the sponsorship money goes straight to the kids. And I know this because I know the people that keep the records in this organization. And so So to be able to go, everybody is self-funded who wants to go on these trips, and I was more than willing to do that. And the people that are actually on staff at the organization are missionaries, so they have to raise support to be able to work there. All in all, it's a really amazing organization. But what we were doing on this trip is we had to update all the sponsorship information. So, for example, my coffee's getting cold. So we had to go in and take, sponsors want to know who they're supporting, right? They want pictures of the child that they're sponsoring. They want information about how old they are, what's their favorite food, that sort of thing. So we have records for each of the kids, and once a year they have to be updated. And that's what we were doing on this trip. We were going in to update information on each of the children, taking new photos, getting new information, and we were also doing a little presentation at each spot. So we would do a story, and we would give out a gift to each child. And the gift bags were kind of my responsibility on this trip. Everybody has a different job to do, and so I was in charge of making sure all the bags were labeled, had the correct items in them, and went to the correct child. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're working with almost 500 kids and you're traveling a lot, it actually ends up being a big job. But it was a fun job. So if you'd like to follow me on this journey, feel free to subscribe, and I'll be posting more videos. I have so much stuff, I don't even have time or room to sort through it all and put it on my channel, but I'll show you the highlights. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.